folks, my name is Chef Cicely and I'm joining you here today from the Divine Cafe in the Springs Preserve in Las Vegas, Nevada. In cooking, we have to use a lot of water. There's something that we can do that actually adds a lot of nutritional value, a lot of flavor, and also prevents a lot of wasted food, and that's making vegetable stock. So what I have here is a giant bowl of trim. So every time I chop a vegetable to go into a dish, I end up with certain parts that maybe I don't want to serve with the food, but that doesn't mean there's not something I can get out of them. For example, the bottom ends of a celery rind, the peel of an onion, right? I don't want to eat this part, but it's still got a lot of amazing onion aroma and also some flavor to it. I've got a lemon peel that I've juiced. That's still got a lot of amazing flavor on it. I have peels of carrots. What else do I have in my goodie box here? I've got stems of celery. I've got stems of kale. I have all sorts of goodness. Almost anything that comes off of a fruit or a vegetable I can put in there. There's a few things that I don't want to hold on to put into a vegetable stock. And that would be anything that is starchy. So for example, potatoes. Potatoes are very starchy, and that's going to make it so that my stock doesn't have the same chemical properties and the same texture and consistency of pure water. So nothing starchy goes in there. And unless I really love asparagus or Brussels sprouts or cabbage, anything in that mustard family, that's not going in there either, because purple cabbage, for example, is going to turn all the stock that I make into bright purple. Asparagus is so strong and aromatic because there's that asparagine amino acid in there that we all know the smell of very well. That's what it's named for, but that's going to take over the stock. So anything that is extremely colorful, starchy, or has a really strong flavor, I don't want to put that in there. So those I'm going to leave off to the side. But to make a vegetable stock, it's really simple. I'm going to take all of this trim, I'm going to dump it into a pot. If I want any additional aromatics, let's say bay leaves, I can toss some of those in there, and I can be very generous with it. And I like a little bit of peppercorns, so a couple of those. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cover it with just enough water to douse through the top. I'll need a little bit more in this one. And then it's going to go onto the stove top for about 45 minutes over medium-high heat. What it's going to do is come to a boil, and as it's coming to a boil, what's happening is the water's extracting all of the nutrients and all the additional flavors associated with those nutrients and pulling them out into the water. I'll let it go for, as I said, about 45 minutes until the vegetables begin to lose all their color, and they're also very soft. At that point, I'll take the vegetables off and I'll run them through a strainer. So I'm going to strain all of the pulpy vegetables out of my stock at that point. The pulp I can hold, and I can use that to go into a compost, into a garden. And the strained stock is now this beautiful colored liquid that I can use to do all sorts of amazing fun things with. Anytime I boil pasta, I'm going to use my vegetable stock with it. If I make a soup, instead of using water, I'm going to use my vegetable stock with it. Instead of using too much vinegar or something else with a pungent flavor, I can use this to thin out a sauce or a salad dressing. I could use it as a base for a salad dressing. It's just a great way to add more flavor to a dish already being made. It's a great way to add more nutrition to a dish already being made. It's a great way to be more cost effective in your kitchen. After all, we buy vegetables by the pound, so let's use all of them. And it's a great way to increase the water quality of water when it's an ingredient. And I can also make my kitchen more sustainable, creating some compost for the garden. So here's to making your kitchen more cost-effective and more delicious. My name's Chef Cicely, and I hope to see you here.